Hey everybody, my name is Kalle Slaap, watchmaker from the Netherlands. Well, with an accent like this, of course I'm from the Netherlands. Watching a pre-recorded session because I'm on holiday and we're going to discuss Breitling. But this may be a controversial stream because this watch is from the mid-90s probably, and that is not the proudest moment of Breitling as a brand. And for 9 years we've been streaming everything about watchmaking. Warts and all, because transparency in watchmaking is what we're proud of and what we like to show. I showed you the most beautiful things and things you can repair yourself, and for 9 years, a lot. For this one, it is a bit controversial, and because I thought first it was a replica, counterfeit. My colleagues as well, the team here. Then we did our studies and did our homework, and we found 5 different sources of this watch. All looked identical, and we know for sure it is original. And interesting because there's a power reserve, and we know it's interesting, the power reserve, because of the date, but I'll show you in a moment. I'm choosing words carefully right now. I'm not here to bash Breitling or diminish it then as a brand or anything. The sole reason I would like to show you this watch is that you can see how far the watch industry came the last 30 years. This is an era, mid-90s, early 90s, where quartz ruled everything. So Breitling was cutting, not just Breitling. Sorry, the watch industry was cutting corners. And in a moment, you will be probably wondering if it really is not a replica. And it isn't. So this watch is original and has got huge emotional value to the client, and we're gonna restore it as new. But I think you'll see a few details that you think cutting corners here and there. But then again, just show you the Breitling. So that's a bit of a disclaimer. Nothing against Breitling, but not everything is what you think it is. So what do we see here? As usual, as always, that is the camera, that is the microscope, and you're watching with me live watchmaking. At first, of course, looks like a crosswind. No chronograph, just the power reserve. And it's a disc. Do you see that? There. It is a disc with a cutout. And this is just covering the rest of the dial. There. Why it probably is interesting is if you see the date. So far, so good. But if I turn it like this, you see how deep the date is from the dial. Well, the date is on the movement itself. So usually it's just the thickness of the dial, which is the depth of the date. But now it isn't. So I expect a module on top. Now, well worn, but gold plated, the riders. This is just a piece of gold and the rest is just worn off. Here. The client would like it fully restored and polished. Finishing, not polishing. Because they're the circular graining and again the contrast with the highly gloss rim here. And if you make this perfect, highly polished, the contrast with the circular graining is beautiful, really is. The satinage, loads to do, but that's what we love because we're watchmakers. Is it better visible without the... Yeah, the wrist cheese is more visible. Oh well. Screw down crown. Plop. And there, just a bit of, yeah. And there. Well worn. That's what we like. There, the numbers. And of course, Breitling. There, but if you look at this, it was our first reaction, that cannot be real. But it is. Simply the way it's engraved. Oh, well. And then we just opened the watch for a quote. For the rest, I really don't know what to expect. But then we thought, it cannot be real. It is. And again, this is where the Swiss industry is cutting corners. It is just about the same effort to do it properly. And this is just... oh well. It was surfaced before. There. The mark. Doesn't say anything. Oh well. Just his letters. Wasn't your first reaction, it cannot be real? Well, that's what we thought. Then we thought it was a giveaway, but no Breitling or anything enhanced at the rotor. It's just an ETA 2892. And again, I'm not slagging off the watch because finishing doesn't make it accurate. It is just a well-running watch when we restore it, but nothing enhancement of Breitling itself. Nothing, and that is just... oh well. Well, visual inspection, what do we see? Isn't some... okay, that shouldn't be there. That really shouldn't be there. Especially with a screw down crown and the seals. I cannot believe this is from wearing it or from the owner. No chance. Again, using some pegwood so I don't make any scratches. Ugh. lot of work to do cleaning it up. Well, we're not the first. Oh, do you see the yellowy lines? That is a screwdriver too wide. Oh. Remember the no short? That's it. There's something, a foreign object. Well, it is in need of a good clean. Well, first now we focus on the play in the rotor. There. Oh, excellent. Not too bad at all. And just to verify, the 5 different sources of this watch, this model, all had this rotor in there without the Breitling engraving or anything. And that's when we stopped thinking it was a replica. Now I'm gonna remove there the automatic winding module, so we can have a closer look on the movement in situ. Yeah, to be honest, like I said, not bashing Breitling or anything, just give my thoughts on watchmaking. Why I call this cutting corners? Because there's nothing, it's just a basic movement. Many brands use basic movements but do slight enhancements on them, cleaning parts and stuff. Why I think this one is a bit iffy, even though it's from the mid-90s, the quartz heyday. Choosing words again. The thing what ticks me off is that they sold it for Breitling money without the Breitling goodies. If that makes sense. There was no see-through case back, so you can say who cares if there's Breitling on the rotor or anything, enhancements, making it beautiful. But the marketing kept on going, the marketing machine, and they sold it for serious money. And so, yeah. That's just what I think. Ooh, here. Here. There's just everywhere. Old lubrication. Well, they polished the escape wheel. ETA did. You're not making the exams in the Dutch watchmaking school making your teeth look like this. That is just okay. But we're gonna clean it and we're gonna make it beautiful and how it should be. And that's what we say here in the workshop. We don't repair watches how they come in. We repair watches how they should be. Because you can never trust a previous watchmaker. Wow. So, make sure the movement isn't attached to the ring. Case ring. First things first, I would like to release the dial feet. There. You can clearly see that one side is flat and now that skirt of the screw is cutting in the dial feet here. It's also soft material, copper or an copper alloy. So now it's cutting in the material, so it's secured. And if I do this, now you can see the dial feed is disengaged. Do the same at the other side. And why I'm doing it now, because not really logical. The dial and the hands are still protected by the crystal and the case. So now I can reach from the back while I turn it over in a moment and remove the case and the crystal. I don't want to turn it over again because then I can damage the hands and the dial. Well, there we go, everybody. Are you surprised about finishing? And in a moment you see the dial as well. It's just a bit, it's cutting corners. So if I pay Breitling money for a Breitling, I would expect a bit more Breitling. Release the power from the mainspring. There. Try to do it in focus. There. I'm helping the movement with rotating the crown. There. And now you see that wheel is revolving. But here where I'm holding, it isn't. So it's disengaged, so now I know all the powers from the mainspring. Quick test. Yeah. That is visible, right? Oh well. Remove that stuff. There. Shall I remove the... Yeah, why not? The balance wheel. Again, I do it now because I don't know what to expect with the power reserve module on top of the movement. And I'm open. That might be a redeeming feature, that the module is such high quality and beautiful that I'm open to change my mind about Breitling in this period of time. There, no power on the mainspring. There we go. There is something on top of the crystal. There. And I'm curious, is this older lubrication or not? It's completely dried out. I tried to remove it with Rodico. There. Really dry. There. There's even residue. That's old. Okay, remove off. First, I would like to align the hands before I remove. There. There. The hands close together, because notoriously the Breitling hands are so incredibly stuck. Really way too much than needed. Way too much. Well, looking good. Yeah, could be worse. Then even check. Los, los, los. Should be like that. And there. Some discoloration. Interesting. Well, even the print, I know it is older, early 90s, but still the print on replicas is today so much better than this. And even the 12 looks... It's here. Whoop, there we go. I was focusing on the 12 there. I just turned to play with the light and it slid off, but on my desk, luckily. Is it just me, or does it look... Maybe it's just me. Don't want to be too negative. Nah. Should be okay. Some protective film, latex, very stretchy. And I'd like to do this with a Presto tool. There. Oh, excellent. Here. Just to show you how deep and how high you see that? Oh wow. Very, very curious about the module. Really would like to see that. There's the case ring. Oh, there is the case ring. Wow. Use the carbon tip tweezers, not to make any marks, but look at those. Amazing. Never seen them like that. Huge. Just to bridge the gap. Look at that. Oh wow. Oh. Nah. Here. I've got a lovely movement holder for this movement. So I thought I'd just pick up the I just pick up the movement. And oh me yo, because of course easy freak, because I loosened the screws of the dial, I just can pick up the module. There. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I was so intrigued about the module. I forgot about you for a moment. But I truly value you. Just look at the amount of wheels. Yeah. I've seen this before. This module. Come to think of it. Don't know what brand. Maybe my memory will be refreshed. Yeah. Probably Duprat. Sorry about the pronunciation. Making the module. But I think I've seen it before. It's driven by this wheel. And that wheel. And let's have a look for a moment. So this one, it's attached to the main barrel. That one, really long pivot. Is that one. Third wheel. Centerrad. Yeah. Poeh. That's extremely long. And a mental note for assembly. It's just about flush. There. So I'm going to disassemble it, because we have to disassemble just to make it clean and to see the if there's any wear or anything. But if I'm going to push it back, I am going to use an Horia tool with the top a flat insert. So I can lower it, and immediately feel if it's flush with the top of the pivot. Yeah. Same here with the other one. But now I've got to remove it. Yeah. Well, the important bit is I can reach until the pivot. So if I am closest to the pivot with my levers or my Presto tool, I have to decide what to use. But if you're pushing a bit too far from the pivot, you get, if you push some force on the sides, you might do this with, even though this is sturdy material, but still, you don't want that. You don't want to stress the teeth or the outside. So the closer you are to the pivot, there and the other one, and if you then remove it like this instead of remove it like this, this is where the main body is and less prone of breaking the pivot, because it is hardened steel. It's always a risk. Well, do I want to remove it now or no? First I'm going to remove the date ring, because this one's got the date on the 6 o'clock position. This is original, so I want to make sure that it stays that way. Now I'm going to use my funky tool. Yeah. Now this is Horia, I believe, and just the fit is just lovely. Yeah, I'm going to remove all this stuff. And then I got room to apply some force. That screw was insane stuck. Yep. Yep. Time for some Rodico. If you, I am not ignoring you. You're just not there. It's a pre-recorded session because I'm on holiday in Denmark at the moment. But it is recorded one day before you see it. Yeah, 1 day or 1 week. And the first port of call in we're first going to see Lübeck, lovely city in Germany. Been there many times when I was very young, from the early 80s, and every time we went to Scandinavia or the Nordic countries, because we went to Finland as well many times. Always stopped at Lübeck because lovely city. And then next port of call is the Isle of Meun, the stunning Meunsklint. And my girlfriend hasn't been there yet, so would love to show her that. And Stevensklint, of course, a bit more north. So yeah. We've done a lot the last couple of months. A really, really busy time. Necessary, and we did so much, but very nice to have a week and a half just to wind down and give some attention where it's deserved. So what I do now is just look at the teeth, 31 teeth of course, of the date ring. There. Not one is covered. So now I can lift the date ring without touching the print. There. So almost done. And then I can remove the two pivots. And we're still going to have a look at the power reserve module. There we go. Sliding pinion. So, well, we can do the, yeah, why not? Shock system with my funky tool. That's not the one. That's the one. Just two adjusted oilers. No secrets here. Of course, everybody is saying that an Inca block spring has got a pivot point there, so it cannot get out of the holder. Well, so I would like to close it there, one side, two side, lift it up, and no stress, no nothing. If you're interested in the tool, it's like a hockey club. Simple. It's an oiler. Warmed it up, and I hit it with a hammer, and then with a diamond file made one flat side. So now I can easily manipulate just by rotating the so much easier. Quite aware that there are many specific tools for Inca block, but this is just the way I like to do it. There, one side, two sides, and that's it. Literally seconds work. Everything is clean except these two. Well, I presume they are incredibly stuck. So I would like some control with some levers. And I really don't like to leave any marks. So that means we're not sponsored in any way, but this is just version 69. This is just a piece we have here, but just this piece of plastic, just one cut, and you've got exactly the same. We have these plenty, but please don't spend money on. This is for me an answer to a non-existing problem. But that's just me. I would like to. I'm using these because they're very long and we can scoop and get the closest to the pivot. They're quite thin. I hope they're thin enough. And we have to take into account the pivots of the hands, so we don't stress them. They're underneath here. Yeah. So we like to do. Please go for a coffee, for do whatever you want. Walk the dog. This is just not. Yeah. There. I just adjusted that one. So now I hope it slides there. And I'm going to use this one because it is Breitling. It can be incredibly stuck, and especially a small part like this, if it just joins the Swiss space program, I really don't want that. So it is protected. I want some slightly thinner. There. Just these. Less leverage. There we go. Oops. No marks. That's it. And now we can slide in just one direction. And again, get as close as possible to the pivot. Gently. There we are. There it is. There we go. Incredibly long pivots and so delicate. I really believe not many watchmakers show this under a microscope while doing it. Oh yeah, there, hoor ja. Wiggle wiggle test, why not? Did you see that? That's strange. A wiggle wiggle test, just to see if there's play in the pivots. Just by pushing the main barrel, the gear train stops immediately. It is not moving freely at all. That is curious. That is curious. Some play over there. Is there so much play in the main plate? There. Why not a ruby over here? That is just... It is driving the complete module and taking a lot of force. And why not just place a ruby here to reduce friction? That, again, cutting corners. There's some play over there. Something is causing a huge amount of friction, and there are not that many parts left. Interesting. But the thing is, we cannot remove the main barrel bridge without compromising this wheel here. You see, it's go underneath. So I definitely don't want to. Hey, ho. You don't have to be a watchmaker, and you don't have to be that experienced, but That bit shiny over there just catches your eye. It's reflecting the light in a different plane. Sticks out like a sore thumb, right? And what's all this? Really sticky old lubrication there. But that can be a root cause, we see in a moment. Not of the friction of the rotating of the gear train. That's something. That is something. And how can you bend just one teeth? Oh wow. Something is taking up so much friction. Well, just by looking and playing with light, you can see or discover so many defects. Yeah, gripping it like this, so not risking leaving any marks. Oh. That one came off so easily, so no extra friction. Well, to be honest, it isn't that bad. There is the bent tooth. But to see it like this in focus, really isn't that bad. You can see it there. There it is. Right before the pivot. That's the one. But we have to test it, but no drama, as far as I can see now. Well, completely dry. Do you see those pivots? Well, really would like to see the state of these pivots. Ooh. Wow. Ja. Ooh. That is a lot of debris. Well. There. Well, we're going to replace the barrel anyway. Ah. This one was very sticky. Maybe you see it me taking out of the... ooh. Even seems a bit rusty there. You see that? At the base of the pivot. That was the absolutely sure that is the root cause of the extra friction. Why it stopped. There. That seems like some rust sediment. No way it's just lubrication discoloration. No chance. So, empty main plate, but still. Really curious about the module. To be honest, and that's what we're here for, of course, no bullshit. If we look at the disc instead of the hands, I'm really not looking forward removing this disc. Simply because of construction. Do you see that beautiful ridge beside it? I'm going to grab the dial feet, so I'm not actually holding the module. Look at this. Oh, somebody already tried. That is exactly what I wanted to avoid. Because at that ridge around the disc, you cannot see inwards, but it is next to impossible to remove the disc from the pivot. You can only come in from one side, but then you are pressing down on the subdial and you have to go deep next to the pivot. So that's just an insane headache. So I really do hope if I open the module, that wheel with the disc can stay in place. You can call me a coward. You can call me a wise man, but that would be fantastic. because there's absolutely no chance to get, well, parts for the dial or something. Come op. There we go. That's the spacer. There's the next screw. I've seen this. Oh, there we are. I've seen this module before, but it's been such a long time ago. I really cannot remember how and when. Zo. Well, cheers everybody. I would be very happy if I can leave that disc attached to the pivots. Looking for some pith, so some stability for the module, because I don't think the module will fit the movement holder. Then just a new piece. Oh, there it is. The one I was looking for. There we are. Well, so there. Pith is the inside of the branch of an elder bush, being used for centuries just for this, because it's hard enough to have a solid base, to have some support, and it's soft enough to push something in, just like now I pushed in the two dial feet. But the rest is now completely level and supported. It's beautiful to use this pith wood. What I am going to do now is try to lift the dial. Hopefully the wheel with the disc on top instead of a hand comes along, because somebody just tried to remove the disc and that completely, really don't want to do that. But it's an alternative. But if I can, gently, gently, gently. The 12 seems a bit odd to me, but okay. Okay, be wise. There we are. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at that. Was am I that lucky? I am. There must be some dial feed here as well. Yeah. There, holding it like this. There. And now it probably comes off by itself. There it is. Ooh, rust. Oh, wow. It is rusty. But the dial is in perfect condition. One that was lucky, but it wasn't that tight fit that usually a Breitling is. So there, the spacers, there for the date. There is for the power reserve. But, there's always a but. Quite interesting, I think. It is an automatic winding movement with a power reserve. When moving and you got a fully wound main barrel, but that keeps rotating. So there's a slip in the main barrel, of course, because of the spring. But there has to be a slip in here as well. When the main barrel does so many rotations, or the arbor, you cannot, sorry about that, but a fully wound movement must have a stop for the power reserve. So there has to be a slip in these parts as well. Ooh. Interesting, didn't expect that. They are well, pushed in place. No screw, strangely enough. It's just one gear train. Here, there is a slip. You see? Rotating. Slip. This pin is the answer. There. There you see. Just a shiny bit stops that. There. Well, even though it was lacking finishing, and it isn't Breitling's proudly moment, it is still an interesting watch. And I haven't checked yet, but with this pivot, I don't expect it to be round. Because of the stop. it's a thick module. You see? That small pin stops the gear that, or wheel, that is holding the disc instead of the hands, and that bit is the maximum. So stops and fully wound, and then there is a slip, so you cannot wind it more and more and more. And there. Well, lovely. Can get it perfectly clean again, but these ones are not riveted, but there are no screws. There. So they're pushed in place. Just like the ETA 2000. But there's way too much play. Oh, that is way, way, way too much. I hope it's visible. And that one as well. Oh wow. Well, it's easily done. It is tricky, but with some confidence, just use a Horia tool and press down those pivots. If you go slightly too far, there's way too much friction. So you have to turn it around and push it out again with a way, way smaller insert. But it is doable. And especially with the ETA 2000, to the small lady movement, it's got the same problem. And if you just have a Horia, and I'm not bashing Chinese tools because the quality is so much better than just a few years ago. But then the original Horia is the brand of the tool, with a very insanely fine thread. So just the rotation is a slight movement. I'll show you the Horia. Well, there's a whole chapter in the book, Watchmaking Explained, about the Horia. It's really well worth it. Here. This is Chinese one. And one rotation is, because the thread is a bit more coarse, is a lot of movement. And these Swiss ones, this one is from the Eterna factory, original. The thread is way finer, so just a rotation here is, you got so much more control. Just a bit more. So it is doable. And with the Horia, if you press down and feel constantly if the play is gone and if there's not enough friction, not too much friction, it's quite doable to get this module perfect again. I'm sure of that. What a lovely stream. Well, even though you're not there, pre-recorded. I'm on holiday in Denmark, but doing this stream, I really feel I'm doing it with you, but I really do miss the banter and your comments and a real added value to this stream. Even though it's not the most beautifully finished Breitling, movement still interesting, lovely. I've seen this movement, the module before. I don't think it was on a Breitling, but I'll find out where it was. All of you, thank you so much for your attention. Hope you enjoyed it like this, that I could really show you another interesting movement. And hope to see you soon. Hey, see ya. Bye-bye.